Morning everyone, and welcome to this week's video. Welcome to a cold December morning here on the Isle of Anglesey in North Wales. Always good to start with some sheep photography when in Wales and all that. So in today's video, what I want to talk to you guys at home is I've been doing photography now since 2017. I've been doing it professionally since 2018. And I've been doing it full time since 2022. Now across that journey, I've come across a vast amount of photographers, some who have been doing it for many more years than I have, some who have just started out. Every single person that I've met though has given advice, and I think no matter where you are in your own photography journey, try not to just think that you've made it, because even professionals are still learning this photography skill. I think that if you do this one trick that I'm going to talk to you today about in this video, I think you'll see massive improvements in your own photography very, very quickly. So I'm hoping that in today's video, there's a lot more photos that I will show you from today's trip. We are currently now on our way to a place called Porthwen Brickworks in Anglesey. It's on the north tip of Anglesey, just outside of the town of Amlwch. So we're going to head there today, take lots of pictures and go over this one trick that I think that if you implement it, you'll see a very big improvement in your own photography. Nice shot. So this one trick that I think that if you implement it into your own photography will vastly improve your skills as a photographer, and that one trick is to limit yourself to just one focal length when you're out and about shooting. Let me explain a little bit more. So I've been doing this one trick for quite a while now, and I've been doing it massively with the Fujifilm X100VI. And that one trick obviously is to restrict yourself to just one focal length. Now I know when you start out in photography, you think that you need to amass so many different things, so many different focal lengths, so many different zoom ranges, even primes. But if you do have a zoom lens, what I would ask you to do is to just go out over the next couple of weeks when you are shooting and to only use that one focal length. Now I'm shooting with the Fujifilm X100VI, and I think this is a fantastic camera, and it is the equivalent of a 35mm on a full frame camera. This is not a full frame sensor inside this. This is an APS-C sensor. Fantastic camera, amazing picture quality, and it does allow me to slow my photography down when I'm out and about. It is a great camera to use, and it is really nice having that 35mm focal length. So I will be doing this video with just the Fujifilm X100VI, so all the photos that you see will be 35mm only. So no matter what you've got, no matter what lens you've got, when you go out, try and restrict yourself to just one focal length. So if you've got a zoom lens, maybe a 24-70, maybe pop it into 35, maybe pop it into 50, and just use that and challenge yourself to go out and just get photos using that one focal length. So let's go down to Porthwen. Don't know how I'm gonna amble my way down here, but I'll give it a try. Boots are absolutely wrecked. Sure they're getting soggy. We made it. So here we are at Porthwen. Oh, my boots have certainly earned their keep today. So we're going to head down. We'll probably go onto the beach side, take some photos and go over that one trick on how to improve your photography. Oh, my boots are filthy. My feet feel dry though, so that's a bonus. Oh, that is a nice shot. Let me see if I can just work that sun star in. Lovely. So you will notice that when you stick with just one focal length, you will have to work your scenes a lot harder. So when you rock up to a scene and you see a photo in your mind, you take that image with a zoom lens on, you are back and forth, you just stand, zooming in and out, taking multiple shots of the same frame. But when you limit yourself to just one focal length, you will find that you will work a scene a lot harder. You will see the photo and then you will have to physically work around it, whether you need to get closer, so zoom with your feet, you might have heard that saying before. You will have to go closer, further, just to get that frame and just right, but it really does make you sort of see things a little bit different. I think since I started doing it and since just using one focal length when I'm out and about shooting with my everyday camera, I have noticed that my photography's massively improved, and I feel a lot more connected to my photos when I do take pictures out in the field. I just feel that I work them a lot harder, that I take my time just to get the composition just right, and then when I get back into the editor, I throw an edit on it, and I'm very happy with the final outcome. So we'll go out, we'll go take a few photos, we'll go for the rummage around, we'll take some shots with that sun just lighting up whilst we're behind us. So we'll head over to the other side of the beach, get a couple of detail shots, throw the drone up, get a couple of establishing shots, and maybe even the odd picture from the drone. So we'll go from there. So let's head to the next location. Nice low down shot. Let's get the end. Beautiful. So my challenge to you is, maybe you're new to photography, maybe you've only got one camera, one lens, maybe it's a crop sensor camera, maybe it's got a kit lens. Don't let that bog you down. Don't think that you need a full frame, you need to go out and buy yourself a designated prime lens. So if you've got a kit lens, if you've got something like 24-70, or even on a smaller camera on a crop sensor, you might have something like the 18-55. Challenge yourself to go out with just that camera, just that lens, but set that lens to one focal length and one focal length only. Just see how much more you physically have to work to take the photos, how much more immersed in the scene you are, and just how much more you're concentrating on the composition of the photos. You will notice a massive difference, and for me personally, it is one big skill that I have implemented into my own personal photography, and I've seen such a massive change. So it was one tip that I wanted to share with you guys at home. So just stick to one focal length, zoom with your feet, work the scene a lot harder, and just feel more of a connection with your photos. You will notice that your skill in photography will develop massively by just having one focal length to work with. I myself have got a 28-70 on the Canon R6. Sometimes I do head out with that, but more often than not, I've only got the 35. Sometimes I do wish I had something like a 50, or maybe even something wider, but more often than not, I find myself when I'm out and about, I'm not shooting weddings, if I'm doing street photography, or if I'm out and about just having a hike like today, I find myself just shooting at one focal length. This place is just amazing. This place is just beautiful. So as you can see in the videos, I am actually moving myself a lot more, finding compositions and finding frames, just working the scene that little bit harder. You will find that with your own photography, just having that one focal length, you'll notice that you work the scene a lot harder, just moving up and down and around, just getting closer, further away from your subject, just before you actually do press the shutter button. So don't be afraid of it. It is a little bit sort of uncomfortable at first, especially if you are used to using a zoom lens, but don't let it put you off. Try and stick with it, and trust me, you will see a difference in your photography. Detail shots of the kilns. Right. It's just beautiful. So this is probably a prime example of what shooting with a prime actually does. It makes you physically work the scenes just that little bit harder. Now, not every photo is going to be perfect, but you will notice that you take your time, you immerse yourself just that little bit more when you are in a beautiful place such as Portland like we are today. You will notice that you move around a lot more, you get a lot more paces, and if you are an outdoor person and you do enjoy shooting outdoors, that's only a benefit in my eyes, that's only a plus. More paces means you just out and about a lot more, you get to stay outdoors a lot longer, so that's always a plus. Being out in places like this is such a joy, and that's one thing that I love about doing photography, is just the places that you get out. And with this skill, you will notice that you seem to learn to see photos just a lot easier. For some reason, when I started doing this sort of shooting with just one focal length, I noticed myself that I was starting to see images a lot more differently and images in a lot more different places. When I'm out and about, it's always good to have my Fuji with me because I always see shots that I want to get. But having just that one focal length really sort of makes me think, if I can see the photo, then I take the photo. Sometimes you might have to work it. Like I said, you might have to get closer or further away, higher or lower, but you just work that scene that little bit more. From one image, you might just get 2 or 3 different sort of variations of that one single shot. But trust me, you will feel a better connection with the photos when you get back to edit them in post. So that's it for today's video. I am hoping to do a Q&A. So I've been doing photography now for quite a long time, and in my local area I do get quite a lot of questions fired at me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to amass all the questions that I seem to always get, jot them down, and I'm going to hopefully do a Q&A session in the next video. So I am, as I mentioned earlier, going to do a video about zooms versus primes, the benefits of and the cons of each and the other. But that is today's video, nice and easy. So I set yourself that one challenge, so I'll set you a challenge. Next 2 weeks or next month, if you can just stick to one focal length only on your camera and on your lens, and just see the difference. Just try and notice how much more you physically have to work a scene, how much more you are working to take the photo. As I said, you will be moving back and forth trying to get that composition just right. But trust me, when you get back to the editor and you look back on them photos then on your timeline, you will actually associate a little sort of storyline with each individual photo. You feel that better connection, but it will massively improve your photography skill set because you will actually have to work scenes a lot harder. You start to see the world in a different way. You start to see images way before you take them. So that's always a bonus. But for me personally, it's been probably the best tip that I've ever used, just limiting myself. Obviously, I don't just restrict myself to just using primes. I am a wedding photographer, so I do use zooms as well. But when I'm out and about, I try and just sort of enjoy photography. And having this skill set, just like I mentioned, it just allows you to sort of slow down, take it easy when you're out and about. When you're out and about on a shoot, you just sort of lessen the pace, just takes it easy. And obviously with the Fuji's got so many different sort of settings and dials on, you can really sort of slow that down and work the shot. But I shoot in aperture priority mode. I always shoot in that. That will be in another video as well. I want to talk to you about aperture priority mode. But nice and easy today. I know I'm rambling on, but I'm still getting used to this YouTube malarkey. I am not gonna sort of shy away from it. I'm out and about today. There's been a couple of people around and trying to do vlogging. For any of you that do vlogging yourselves, or you do a YouTube, or you do something that involves talking to a camera, you'll know how hard it is, and especially how much of a wally you feel when you're out in public. But that's it. That's Portland. That's today's tip, which is shoot with one focal length and just see the improvements in your photography. So go out, as I always say, see the world, capture life. I look forward to seeing the photos that you get by shooting just that one focal length only. If you want to challenge yourself, chuck a 35mm. If you've got a 35mm available to you, that is the standard focal length that I use pretty much on the daily. So if you want to try and emulate some of the shots or just get used to shooting with the same focal length that I go out and shoot with, use the 35mm. But that's it. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know I've rambled on, but that is the end of the video, and I hope you've enjoyed coming out and getting that one tip from me, which is one focal length will massively improve your photography skill set. So that's it. All I want to say is see the world, capture life, and I'll see all you lovely faces on the next one. Peace.